The clock hits 5 a.m. The world is asleep. But you're already winning. The battlefield isn't out there in the office, in the market, or in the gym. It's in your bedroom. It's in your mind. The war is won or lost by how you rise in the morning. For the next 30 mornings, you're not just waking up, you are rising. And there's a difference. Waking up is automatic. Rising is intentional. It's the stance of a warrior who knows where they're going. For 30 mornings, walk like you've already won. Head up, chest forward, no slouching, no dragging your feet. The walk of a champion doesn't start on the podium. It starts in silence, in discipline, when no one's watching. You carry yourself with authority, not because the world said so, but because you said so. You decided to stop waiting for approval and start moving like someone worth following. You don't need a title to walk like a leader. You don't need applause to behave like a giant. The alarm doesn't control you. You command it. You are no longer owned by comfort. You are driven by vision. The next 30 mornings are your training ground. Each day is a rep. Each morning is a test. And you pass the test by moving when it hurts, by standing tall when it's easier to curl up, and by chasing your future like it owes you something. Because it does. It owes you exactly what you're willing to demand from it. You're not here to exist. You're here to dominate your hours before the world even starts theirs. The average man hits snooze. The powerful man hits the ground. And that's who you are, powerful. You've just forgotten how to act like it. These 30 mornings are not a routine. They are a rebirth. Every time you show up, you are rewriting who you are, not who you wish to be, who you choose to be. When your feet hit the floor, the universe takes notice. You don't shuffle, you stride, you don't hope. You move with certainty. You don't react, you initiate. There's no guesswork here. You know what must be done, and you do it like your future depends on it, because it does. You will not negotiate with the part of you that wants to quit. You don't argue with the inner weakling, you silence it with action. You are sending a signal every morning, a signal to your mind, a signal to your body, a signal to the world. The signal says, I'm coming, I'm building, I'm walking like I've won, because I will win. You've been waiting for momentum, waiting for motivation. That's over. You are your own ignition. You are your own engine. These mornings are the match. Light it, burn the excuses. The body obeys the mind. The world responds to posture. You don't slouch into greatness, you storm into it. You walk like you're already the man you're becoming. That's how greatness happens. Not by luck, not by chance, but by command. Every morning you're broadcasting who you are. So project confidence before you're comfortable. Project strength before you're strong. Speak victory before you've earned it, because belief always leads action. Success is not a destination, it's a pattern. It's a set of repeated decisions made in discomfort. That's what these 30 mornings are, a stretch into the fire, a rejection of mediocrity. Every morning you shed the version of yourself that accepted good enough. Every sunrise is a new promise to walk like you've already claimed the crown, even if nobody sees it yet, especially because nobody sees it yet. You want to change your life? Change your mornings. The day bends to the man who bends himself before sunrise. The next 30 mornings are not a test of ability. They are a test of identity. Will you stay the man you were, or will you finally meet the one you were born to be? Victory is a decision before it's a result. It starts in the dark, in silence, before applause, before recognition. It's not about what the world sees. It's about what you decide. You decide to win before the scoreboard catches up. You decide to be powerful before you have proof. Winners don't wait for evidence. They create it. They don't chase momentum. They become momentum. When your alarm rings and your eyes open, the battle begins. And in that instant, you either rise with purpose or fall back into weakness. Every single morning is a referendum on who you are becoming, not who you say you want to be, who you prove you are by how you move. You walk like you've won not because you've arrived, but because you've committed. There is no external crown that makes you a king. You walk like one because you've decided that your time, your mind, and your actions belong to the highest version of you. You show up with force, with fire, with direction. You don't drift through the morning, you command it. And when you walk into your day like you own it, your day starts obeying your energy. The weak wait for motivation. The powerful generate it. They walk like they've won because their habits are louder than their doubts. They speak like they've conquered because their standards are higher than their emotions. This is the truth. The moment you act like a winner, you separate yourself from 99% of people who are still waiting for permission. The next 30 mornings are not about comfort. They're about construction. You are building something brutal, something unstoppable, something permanent. And building doesn't happen with soft hands. It happens with blood, sweat, resistance, and discipline. Every morning you rise before the sun. You send a message to your future, I'm ready, I'm here, I'm coming for everything that belongs to me. Not through begging, not through wishing, but through conquest. You don't ask for greatness, you take it. And the path to taking it is paved with early mornings, deliberate action, and absolute clarity about who you are and why you're doing this. When you roll out of bed and walk like you've already won, something changes inside. Your doubts lose power. Your fears lose control. You become the man who leads himself, who doesn't need hype, who doesn't need applause. And the moment that happens, you become dangerous. Because nothing is stronger than a man with internal fire. The world moves out of the way for someone who moves with conviction. Not fake confidence, not loud talking, but a deep, unshakable certainty forged through daily discipline. 30 mornings from now, you will not recognize the person you used to be. If you walk like you've already conquered the gap between who you were and who you're meant to. Become this is a war against hesitation, a war against average. The enemy is the voice that says, you've done enough, you can sleep a little longer, you deserve a break. That voice is a liar. That voice is weakness dressed in logic. You silence it not with arguments, but with action. You destroy it every time you stand up, take a breath, plant your feet, and move like there's no other option but domination. You stop trying and start taking. You stop hesitating and start executing. There's no magic, there's just consistency. And consistency turns intentions into weapons. Walk like you've won, and every step sharpens your blade. If your life doesn't look how you want it to, start with the morning. Because the morning is where identity is carved. Not through fantasy, but through repetition. How you greet the first hour of your day determines the power you bring to the next 23. You can either start on fire or start in fear. You choose. You always choose. The champions of this world aren't lucky. They're early. They're focused. They're disciplined when it doesn't make sense. And they carry themselves like victors long before the world gives them the gold. You have that same choice. Every day, every dawn. You walk like you've won, not because it feels good, but because it rewires your soul. It reminds your body who is in charge. It tells your future to prepare for your arrival. You're not waiting for someone to save you. You're not hoping things will change. You're not wishing for the right time. You are the right time. You are the force. You are the momentum. And you've got 30 mornings to prove it to yourself. To destroy the old version of you. To replace laziness with precision. To swap emotion with execution. To erase doubt with dominance. Every morning you rise with intention, you become immune to distraction. You are no longer reacting, you are leading. Not just leading your morning, leading your life. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't reflect the world, you set the temperature, so don't walk like you're trying. Walk like you've already taken the throne. Don't speak like you're chasing it, speak like it's already yours. There's nothing humble about hiding your power. Real humility is strength under control. Real power is knowing who you are and walking it out every day without excuse, without delay, without apology. For the next 30 mornings, walk like you've already won, because when you do, you will see what happens when the world is forced to respond to a man who no longer waits to be told who he is. The first 30 mornings are the battlefield. This is where the war for your future is either won or lost. Not in the big moments, not under the spotlight. But in the silence of the early hour, when no one is watching, when the excuses whisper the loudest and your old self begs you to sleep, you don't need motivation, you need a decision. You need a line drawn in the sand where you declare that every morning from here on is no longer up for negotiation. You either rise like a warrior or fall like a victim. This is not about waking up early. This is about waking up on purpose. It's not about getting out of bed, it's about getting ahead. You are not here to exist. You are here to conquer in these 30 mornings. You do not train your body, you forge your identity. Each sunrise is a chance to step into the version of yourself that no longer tolerates delay, no longer apologizes for hunger, no longer bends to comfort. This is the boot camp of becoming, and it's going to hurt. It's supposed to hurt. Pain is not the enemy here, softness is. Every morning you choose war over rest. You declare to the world that weakness will no longer have a seat at your table. You do not need to feel like it. You need to be about it. Action does not wait for permission. Winners do not ask the clock if it's time to move. They set the pace. They dominate the start when your eyes open and the light hasn't broken yet. That is your advantage. While the world snoozes, you strike. While others delay, you advance. Each of these 30 mornings is a rep, and each rep stacks power. You are not just developing a habit, you are building armor. The kind that protects you from laziness, from distraction, from mediocrity. These mornings strip away the illusion of who you think you are and force you to meet the man you were meant to become. The old you doesn't belong here. He's too slow, too scared, too soft. Let him sleep. You've got work to do. There is no shortcut, no hack, no trick to greatness. It's earned in the repetition of discipline when no one is cheering and nothing feels good. That's why this battlefield is sacred. Because no one sees it, but everyone will feel its effects. The man who owns his morning owns his future. The man who controls the first hour controls the entire day. And if you do this for 30 straight mornings, not once in a while, not when it's convenient, but with total obsession, you will unlock a version of yourself that does not quit, that does not doubt, that does not flinch. This is more than a challenge. This is a transformation. You don't need to be motivated. You need to be relentless. You need to show up when it's cold, when it's dark, when your bed feels like a trap and your thoughts tell you to stay small. That's the voice of the old life. Silence it with movement. Crush it with consistency. The battlefield does not care about your feelings. It responds only to your decisions. And your decision, every single morning, is to rise like a soldier on a mission, not a civilian waiting to be rescued in these mornings. You become dangerous, not to others, but to the part of you that used to hesitate, that used to quit, that used to delay every dream with excuses wrapped in logic. Not anymore. You know what's at stake now. You know that your morning is the thermostat for your destiny, that how you start is how you finish. And when you give the first hour your full energy, your full focus, your full respect, you shift from being someone who hopes to someone who executes, someone who commands, someone who walks into the day like they own every second of it. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to push you out of bed. No one's going to carry you through your goals. It's all on you, and that's the beauty of it. You don't need anyone else. You've got the fire, the discipline, and the opportunity. These 30 mornings are your edge. They're your advantage. They're your way out of average and into excellence. Stop negotiating with comfort. Stop making deals with the part of you that wants to stay small. The battlefield has no room for weakness disguised as patience. It only rewards the man who shows up ready to bleed, sweat, and grind until there's no doubt left about who he is. You will not always feel strong. You will not always feel clear, but that's why this is a battlefield. Because only warriors win here. Not with emotion, but with commitment. Not with talk, but with steps. Every morning you rise, you sharpen your mind, you harden your spirit, and you remind the universe that you are not one of the sheep. You are a wolf, a leader, a builder, and this battlefield is your proving ground. The world does not reward those who almost did it. It rewards those who decided to do it no matter what. These 30 mornings will not be easy, but they will be worth it. They will demand the strongest version of you, and they will give you something that can never be taken back. Power earned, power kept, and power respected. Walk with purpose, even when you're unknown. The world does not need to recognize you for you to recognize your worth. The stage does not need to be set for you to step on it. Purpose does not wait for permission. It calls to you whether the crowd is watching or not. The path of greatness is never paved in applause, and success is not reserved for the famous. It is for those who know, deep down, that they were made for something greater. and act accordingly, regardless of the attention they receive. When you walk with purpose, you are not walking to be seen. You are walking to become. You are walking because your destiny calls you, and you refuse to ignore it when you walk with purpose. Even in obscurity, you are laying the foundation for your future. It's easy to wait for recognition, to put in half the effort until someone acknowledges your efforts. But true power lies in working in silence, moving with intent, and knowing that your actions will speak for themselves long before you receive any validation. The world may not see you yet, but the actions you take today are the seeds that will grow into your legacy. This is the essence of walking with purpose. It's the belief that what you do in the unseen moments shapes the version of you that will one day be undeniable. Purpose doesn't care about how long the road is or how many people are watching. It doesn't care about the time it takes to become who you know you're meant to be. All it asks is that you show up, that you keep walking, even when no one claps, even when the world looks the other way. Every step you take with purpose adds to the power that's waiting to emerge from within. Purpose is a fire that burns internally, and it doesn't require an audience to burn bright. It only requires the decision to ignite it, the discipline to feed it, and the resilience to keep walking. No matter how quiet the world gets around you, too many people wait for the world to tell them they're worthy. They wait for external validation, for the right time, for the perfect moment. But those who rise are those who create the moment, those who make the decision that their worth is not dependent on the applause, the likes, or the approval of others. They walk with the belief that their value is intrinsic, that their purpose is enough, and it is this belief that pushes them forward, even when the road is long and the world remains indifferent. When you walk with purpose, the destination becomes secondary to the growth that happens within you. It's the transformation that occurs in the journey that matters. You can't afford to wait for recognition to start walking. You must walk like you already have it, like the world is already acknowledging your efforts, like success is inevitable because you've made it non-negotiable. This is the mental shift you need to make. You are not walking toward validation. You are walking toward your vision, and in time that vision will manifest. Your purpose is your compass, and if you remain committed to it, you will eventually draw the attention you deserve. Not because you're seeking it, but because you've earned it. People are drawn to those who move with certainty, who walk with purpose, regardless of the external circumstances. The power of walking with purpose is that it shapes the way you see yourself. It forces you to internalize the belief that you are worthy of success, even when the world doesn't see it yet. Most people wait for the external to affirm their internal vision. But the truly great don't wait. They start moving with conviction, trusting that their work will eventually speak for itself. It's not about shouting your worth into the void. It's about embodying your purpose, acting on it every day, and letting your results do the talking. When you walk with purpose, you are the living proof that what's meant for you will come to pass because you've shown up every single day with unwavering commitment, and as you walk, you begin to see something incredible happen. The world that once seemed indifferent begins to take notice. Opportunities that once appeared to be out of reach start showing up. People who never acknowledged you begin to recognize your efforts. Why? Because walking with purpose sends a message, an unspoken one, that you are different. You are not here to be passive. You are not here to wait your turn. You are here to take your turn, to make an impact, to carve out space in a world that is often too busy to notice. And when you walk like that, with focus and determination, you will find that the world starts to make room for you. Every moment of your life counts, even the moments when no one is looking. Your actions, even when unseen, are laying the groundwork for your future success. The power is in the small steps, the consistent movements forward, the belief that even if no one else sees your journey, you are on the right path. You have to be willing to move through the silence, through the doubt, and through the waiting, knowing that the results will come as long as you continue. It's easy to get discouraged when no one is clapping for you, when no one is shouting your name. But real power is in the quiet moments of determination. Real success is built in the unseen hours when no one is there to applaud your grind. So walk with purpose. Not because anyone is watching, but because you are Walk with purpose because you know where you're going, even if no one else does. Walk with purpose because you understand that the foundation of your future success is built on the steps you take today, no matter how small. The world will eventually recognize your effort, but you must first recognize your own power and the value of every purposeful step you take. When you move with intent, when you walk with certainty, your presence alone will be enough to change the course of your life. Discipline is the cost of greatness. It is not optional. It is the price you pay for the life you want to live. Every morning, every hour, every decision, discipline is the toll you must pay to unlock the door to your potential. There is no shortcut to greatness. You cannot buy it, you cannot wish for it, and you certainly cannot bargain your way into it. It comes only through the relentless pursuit of discipline. Those who are unwilling to pay the price are the ones who watch from the sidelines, waiting for luck or circumstance to deliver what only hard work can earn. Greatness doesn't care about your excuses, your comfort, or your feelings. It only cares about your commitment to the grind, your willingness to show up when everything else tells you to quit. The truth is, the path to greatness is littered with sacrifices, and those sacrifices are built on one thing: discipline. It's the decision to push through when the body screams for rest. It's the choice to work when the world tells you to relax. It's showing up every day not because you feel like it, but because you've made a promise to yourself that you will not break. Discipline is not the absence of desire. It's the ability to control your desires and focus them on what matters most. It's the ability to say no to immediate gratification in order to say yes to long-term success. It is the unwavering commitment to doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when no one is watching. What separates the great from the average is not talent or opportunity, it's discipline. Talent may open doors, but it's discipline that keeps them open. Opportunity may come knocking, but it's discipline that answers. Everyone has the potential to be great, but only those who develop the discipline to consistently show up, to constantly improve, and to relentlessly pursue their goals will ever realize that greatness. Discipline is the engine that turns dreams into reality. Without it, your ambition remains just that, ambition. It's like a car without fuel. No matter how beautiful, how fast, or how powerful it is, without fuel, it will go nowhere. Discipline is the fuel that powers your journey to success. And the more disciplined you are, the further you'll go. It's easy to romanticize success. It's easy to look at someone at the top and think they got there by luck or talent. But what you don't see is the price they've paid. What you don't see are the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices made, the times they wanted to quit but didn't. You don't see the countless hours spent honing their craft, practicing when others were partying, studying when others were sleeping. Success doesn't come to those who are waiting for it. It comes to those who are disciplined enough to go after it relentlessly. You cannot rise to the top without paying the price. You cannot reach your highest potential without the discipline to endure the challenges that will come your way. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the force that drives you forward when everything else pulls you back. The problem is, most people want the reward without the work. They want the glory without the grind. They want the success without the sacrifice. But greatness does not work like that. Success is not a gift. It is earned. And it is earned through discipline. Every hour you dedicate to your craft, every minute you spend working on yourself, every sacrifice you make is the cost of greatness. It's not easy, it's not convenient, but it's necessary. And if you are truly committed to your vision, to your future, to your dreams, you will find the discipline to do what others won't. There is no room for shortcuts in the pursuit of greatness. Every shortcut you take is a step away from your potential. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you are sacrificing your future success. And it's not just about big moments. It's about the small moments, the ones that no one else sees. It's about waking up early when the world is still asleep. It's about working when the rest of the world is partying. It's about saying no to distractions that pull you off course. Discipline is about the long game. It's about doing the right thing, the hard thing, even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up day in and day out, no matter the obstacles, no matter the setbacks, and no matter the lack of instant results. What many fail to realize is that discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger the more you use it. The more you practice discipline, the more it becomes second nature. The more you push yourself to do what's hard, to do what's necessary, the easier it becomes to do it again and again. Discipline is not a one-time thing, it's a way of life. It's a mindset that you choose every single day. And the more you choose discipline, the more it chooses you. Eventually you reach a point where discipline becomes the foundation of your success. It becomes who you are. It becomes your identity. And when that happens, success is no longer a choice. It's inevitable. Every day you wake up, you are faced with a choice. Will you be disciplined or will you be comfortable? Will you work for your dreams or will you let them slip further away? The price of greatness is discipline. And if you're not willing to pay it, then you've already made your choice. You can't expect to achieve anything extraordinary without paying the price. You can't expect to be great without sacrificing the small comforts of today for the rewards of tomorrow. Greatness requires commitment, sacrifice, and above all, discipline. So ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price? Because the cost of greatness is clear, and it's up to you whether you're ready to pay it. You're training the world how to treat you every single day. The way you speak, the way you act, the boundaries you set, and even the way you allow others to treat you. These are all lessons you're teaching the world about how much respect you deserve. You're not waiting for the world to validate you, to give you permission to be great, or to show you the respect you've earned. No, you are the one who sets the tone. You are the one who decides how the world will treat you based on the way you show up. You can't expect others to value you more than you value yourself. The energy you project, the standards you hold, and the decisions you make all send a message. And that message is loud and clear. This is who I am, and this is how I expect to be treated. If you don't teach others how to treat you, they will treat you according to their own terms, and that's where the chaos begins. The truth is, no one will respect your boundaries if you don't enforce them. No one will see your value if you don't first see it yourself. You are not here to beg for attention or validation. You are here to demand respect, not by force, but by showing that you respect yourself enough to not settle for less than what you deserve. You train the world by what you tolerate. The people around you, the opportunities that come your way, and the circumstances you find yourself in are all a reflection of what you've allowed. If you've allowed disrespect, you will receive it. If you've allowed mediocrity, that's what you'll encounter. But if you stand firm in your value, if you show the world that you know your worth, the treatment you receive will change accordingly. The world will not give you what you want. It will give you what you believe you deserve, and if you don't believe you deserve greatness, you will never receive it. Every choice you make, from how you dress to how you speak to how you act, sends a message to the world. And it's not just about your words, it's about your actions. Do you follow through on your commitments? Do you show up when you say you will? Do you hold yourself accountable when you fall short? Your integrity, your consistency, and your discipline will teach the world how to treat you. If you lack integrity, if you're constantly shifting your standards, or if you don't follow through on your word, people will treat you with the same inconsistency. But if you live with conviction, if you live by a code, if you lead with confidence, you will attract the respect that mirrors the person you have become. The world cannot treat you better than you treat yourself. And if you want respect, you must first give it to yourself by setting and maintaining high standards. You have to. Understand that this isn't about being perfect. This is about showing up every single day as the person you want the world to see. Are you living in alignment with your vision? Are you doing the things you know will push you toward your greatness even when it's hard? Are you sticking to your boundaries even when it's uncomfortable? This is how you train the world. Through consistency, through discipline, and through an unwavering commitment to your goals, your values, and your worth. The people around you are watching, and they are learning how to treat you based on what you allow and what you accept. They're taking notes from your actions, your decisions, and your energy. If you walk into a room with your head held high, with the knowledge that you deserve success, with the aura of someone who's unwilling to settle for anything less than greatness, The world will respond to that, but let's get this straight. You cannot expect to demand respect from others if you do not first demand it from yourself. If you're always settling for less than you deserve, if you're always letting others push you around or walk all over you, the world will follow your example. You can't teach others to value you by accepting behavior that undermines your worth. If you don't respect your time, others won't respect it either. If you don't take your own goals seriously, others won't either. If you don't hold yourself accountable, don't expect the world to hold you accountable. The way you treat yourself is the blueprint for how the world will treat you. And it's time you start building a life that commands respect, that demands recognition, and that refuses to settle for mediocrity. One of the most powerful things you can do is protect your energy, protect the environment you place yourself in, protect the people you surround yourself with. The world will treat you how you allow it to treat you, and that includes the relationships you maintain. Are you surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, who challenge you to grow, who respect your boundaries? Or are you tolerating people who drain you, who diminish your value, who hold you back? The relationships you keep are a direct reflection of your self-worth. And if you constantly accept toxic behavior, you are training the world to treat you poorly. It's time to raise your standards. It's time to surround yourself with people who see your value, who treat you with the respect you deserve, and who will hold you accountable to the person you are becoming. The world will not change for you. It will not start treating you better until you start treating yourself better. The way you show up in every aspect of your life is how others will show up for you. You have to lead by example. You have to show the world your worth through your actions, your consistency, your strength, and your boundaries. The world is waiting to give you what you believe you deserve. And if you start showing up as the person who demands nothing less than greatness, nothing less than respect, and nothing less than excellence, the world will have no choice but to treat you that way. You are the one who sets the tone. You are the one who determines your value. The world is listening, and it's time you started teaching it how to treat you. Eliminate the noise, build the focus. The world is full of distractions, pulling you in 1,000 different directions, each one fighting for your attention. It's easy to get lost in the chaos, to lose sight of what truly matters. But the truth is, the noise is just a barrier. It's a tool used to divert your energy from your purpose. Every phone alert, every unsolicited opinion, every piece of useless information, it's all designed to distract you from the task at hand, to scatter your attention and weaken your resolve. The question is, will you let the noise control you, or will you take control of your focus? The power to succeed lies in your ability to filter out the distractions and hone in on what really matters. It's time to stop letting the world dictate your energy. It's time to build your focus. Focus is the force that drives success. Without it, your energy is scattered, your efforts are diluted, and your potential is wasted. You cannot afford to be everywhere at once. You cannot afford to be constantly pulled in different directions. If you want to achieve greatness, you must focus with intensity, clarity, and unwavering determination. Focus is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the difference between those who get results and those who remain stuck in the noise. But the problem is, focus requires sacrifice. It requires you to eliminate the things that don't serve your higher purpose. It means saying no to the distractions, the temptations, and the habits that pull you away from your goals. Focus is the commitment to give your best effort to what matters most. And it's this commitment that will propel you towards success in a world that thrives on information overload. Focus is your superpower. Everyone around you is distracted by the noise. They're chasing the next shiny object, consumed by the latest trend, and overwhelmed by the constant flood of information. But not you. You choose to cut through the noise, to be intentional with where you place your attention. You choose to tune out the unnecessary, to block out the distractions, and to put all of your energy into the thing that will move you closer to your dreams. The ability to focus is a skill, and like any skill, it must be developed. It requires discipline, effort, and the constant practice of refocusing every time your mind drifts. The more you practice, the stronger your focus will become. And when your focus is strong, nothing can stop you. The distractions are endless. Social media, news outlets, meaningless conversations, these are all tools that feed the noise. But here's the thing, they are not the problem. The problem is how much power you give them. The problem is how much energy you allow them to drain from you. Every time you stop what you're doing to check your phone, every time you let a negative thought or a petty argument pull you out of your flow, you're weakening your focus. You're giving your power away. But here's the secret. The noise only has as much power over you as you allow it to. When you decide to take control of your attention, to shut out the unnecessary, you regain that power. It's time to stop reacting to the noise. It's time to stop allowing the distractions to dictate your life. You have the ability to choose where you put your energy. And when you choose focus, you take back control. Building focus doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It takes time, effort, and the willingness to put in the hard work. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you build your focus, you sharpen your mind. You gain clarity. You start to see the path ahead more clearly, and the distractions that once seemed so urgent start to fade into the background. The more you focus, the more your mind becomes trained to ignore the noise, to filter out what doesn't matter, and to zero in on what's truly important. Focus allows you to be present, to be fully engaged in the task at hand, and to give your best effort every single time. And when you consistently give your best effort, results are inevitable. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to succeed in the way you've always dreamed of, then focus must become a priority. You cannot expect to reach your goals if you are constantly distracted, if your attention is always being pulled away by the noise. Greatness requires single-mindedness. It requires the ability to put all of your energy, all of your effort, into one thing and one thing only. Focus is the lens through which you view the world. It's the filter that allows you to see the opportunities that others miss, the path that others overlook. When you focus, you unlock your potential. You give yourself the clarity and direction you need to move forward. And once you have that clarity, the next step is simple. Take action. Focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing less. Less of the things that don't matter. Less of the things that don't align with your goals. It's about cutting out the noise and dedicating your time and energy to the things that move you closer to your dreams. It's about saying no to the distractions, the small tasks, the things that don't serve your purpose. It's about cutting out the unnecessary so you can make room for the things that matter most. Focus is not about being busy. It's about being intentional. It's about knowing exactly where you're going and making the decision to give your full attention to the steps that will get you there, and this is where most people fall short. They confuse activity with productivity. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean it's moving you closer to your goals. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're being productive. Focus forces you to prioritize. It forces you to eliminate what doesn't serve you, to stop wasting time on the irrelevant, and to concentrate on the actions that will bring you results. When you build focus, you build momentum. When you eliminate the noise, you create space for progress. And when you commit to focusing on what matters most, success becomes inevitable. So, eliminate the noise. Build your focus. Your future depends on it. The world will try to distract you. It will try to pull you in 1,000 different directions. But the power to rise above the noise lies within you. You have the ability to choose where you place your attention. You have the power to focus on what truly matters. And when you do, nothing can stand in your way. Pain is temporary, but weakness is a choice. The discomfort you feel in the moment, the struggle, the fatigue, it all fades away with time. But the decision to stay weak, to give in to the pain, to quit before the battle is won, that choice can define your future. Pain will always come and go. It's a natural part of life, a signal that you're pushing beyond your limits, that you're reaching for something greater than what you currently have. The question is, how will you respond to it? Will you embrace it as a necessary part of your growth, or will you allow it to be the reason you stop? Pain is a temporary visitor, but weakness is a permanent condition you choose to live with if you let it control you. We all experience pain. It's part of the human condition. But what separates those who succeed from those who fail is not the pain they endure, it's their response to it. When the going gets tough, some people fold, they give in, they quit. They let the pain decide for them. But those who rise above their circumstances, those who go on to achieve greatness, they know that pain is only temporary. They know that the discomfort they feel today will be replaced with strength tomorrow if they push through it. Strength is built through adversity, and it's only by facing and conquering pain that you can unlock your true potential. Weakness, on the other hand, is the result of surrendering to pain, of allowing it to defeat you. And if you let weakness take hold, it will become the defining characteristic of your life. But you have a choice. You always have a choice when you're in the middle of a challenge. When everything inside you wants to quit, remember that you're not just battling the physical pain, you're battling your own mindset. The pain is just a sign that you are growing. It's a sign that you are pushing yourself to new heights. But if you allow the pain to stop you, you're choosing weakness. You're choosing to stay exactly where you are, to remain stagnant, to let fear, doubt, and discomfort control you. The real battle isn't about what's happening to you. It's about how you respond to it. Pain is just a moment in time, a fleeting experience. But if you let that moment define you, if you let it dictate your actions, then weakness becomes your permanent condition. And the longer you let weakness control you, the harder it becomes to break free from it. Pain is inevitable, but weakness is optional. Every time you push yourself beyond your limits, every time you endure hardship, you're building resilience. You're building a foundation of strength that will serve you in every area of your life. Pain is the price of progress. It's the price you pay to become the person you're meant to be. If you want success, if you want to achieve greatness, you must embrace the discomfort. You must lean into the pain and keep going, knowing that it will pass. Weakness is the decision to avoid the discomfort, to take the easy path, to stay in your comfort zone. But greatness doesn't live in the comfort zone. Success is born in the fire of adversity, and the fire only burns you if you choose to run from it. If you face it head on, it forges you into something stronger, something greater. When you look at successful people, you see the results, the achievements, the victories. But what you don't see is the pain they endured along the way. You don't see the countless hours of struggle, the moments of doubt, the times when they wanted to quit. But they didn't quit. They didn't let the pain stop them. They didn't let the discomfort of the moment become their reason for giving up. They chose to push through, to keep going, to stay focused on the bigger picture. That's why they succeeded. They understood that pain was part of the process. They understood that weakness was a choice, and they refused to make it. They chose strength. Instead, you have to understand that the only thing standing between you and your goals is your ability to endure pain and persevere through it. When things get hard, when obstacles seem insurmountable, when it feels like everything is against you, that's when your true strength is tested. It's in those moments that you decide who you are. You decide whether you're going to push forward and rise above the pain, or whether you're going to succumb to weakness and let the challenges defeat you. The choice is always yours. No one can make it for you. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your struggles. It cares only about what you do with them. Will you let the pain shape you into a stronger, more resilient person? Or will you let it define you as someone who couldn't handle the heat? The secret to lasting success is simple. Don't let pain control you. Don't let it dictate your actions. Instead, let it be the catalyst for your growth. Every time you feel like quitting, every time the pain becomes unbearable, remember that this is the moment that will define you. It's easy to give up when things get tough. It's easy to say I can't when the road gets hard. But the real challenge, the real test of your character, is in your ability to push through the pain, to keep moving forward when the world is telling you to stop. Pain is temporary, but the strength you build by overcoming it is permanent. Weakness is a choice, but strength is earned. It's earned in those moments when you choose to keep going, when you choose to endure, when you choose to rise above the challenges life throws at you. So when the pain comes, don't run from it. Embrace it. It's the only way to become the person you are meant to be. And in the end, it's the only way to succeed. The mirror doesn't lie. Be the person you respect. Every time you look at your reflection, you are staring into the truth of who you are. You can hide from others, you can wear masks, you can pretend to be someone you're not, But when you stand before the mirror, there's no escaping the reality of your own integrity. The reflection you see is the sum of your choices, your actions, and your character. It's the culmination of all the decisions you've made up to this point, and it will show you exactly who you've become. The question is, do you respect the person staring back at you? If not, it's time to make the changes necessary to become someone worthy of your own respect. Every decision you make, every step you take, is either moving you closer to or further, away from the person you want to see in the mirror. There's no hiding from your truth. You can't fake self-respect. You can't deceive yourself into believing that the person you are right now is someone you should look up to if you haven't earned that respect. Self-respect isn't given, it's built piece by piece, action by action. It's the result of showing up day after day and doing the things you know are right, even when it's difficult. It's the discipline to keep promises to yourself, to live with integrity, and to act in ways that align with your values. When you respect yourself, your reflection will mirror that. And that's where true power lies, the ability to look in the mirror and know that you are living as your highest self. The challenge is that too many people live in a state of disconnection from their truth. They say one thing but do another. They claim to value certain principles, but their actions tell a different story. They tell themselves that they want success, but their habits and behaviors are in direct conflict with their aspirations. This disconnect is the root of dissatisfaction. You cannot build a life of fulfillment and success if your actions betray the values you claim to have. The reflection in the mirror will always show you the truth. If you're living out of alignment with who you say you are, it will be obvious. The guilt, the shame, the frustration you feel is a direct result of that disconnect. You can't hide from it. But the beauty of this is that you have the power to change it. You can decide right now to start living in alignment with the person you want to be. And when you do, the mirror will reflect the respect you've earned. Every time you look at your reflection, you are facing the person you are choosing to become. The actions you take, the habits you build, and the decisions you make are all shaping that person. If you want to respect the person you see in the mirror, you must start by making different choices. You must choose to act in ways that align with your values and with the vision you have for your life. This means making difficult decisions. It means being honest with yourself when you're falling short. It means taking responsibility for your mistakes and learning from them. Self-respect is built through action. It's not about waiting for someone else to validate you. It's about showing up for yourself every single day, even when no one else is watching. The person in the mirror is the one you need to answer to, and that answer should always be one of pride. The truth is, most people spend their lives seeking validation from others. They look for approval, they want recognition, they long for praise, but the greatest validation you can ever receive is from yourself. You don't need anyone else's approval if you respect the person you are becoming. When you act in accordance with your highest values, when you choose to honor your word and live with integrity, the validation you receive from yourself is the most powerful. No external approval can compare to the sense of pride and self-respect that comes from knowing that you are living authentically. You no longer need to seek approval from the outside world because you know that when you look in the mirror, you are exactly who you need to be. Self-respect is not a one-time achievement. It's a daily commitment. It's about choosing to live in alignment with your values every single day, even when it's difficult. It's about setting standards for yourself that reflect the person you want to become and holding yourself accountable to them. It's about recognizing that you have the power to shape your own identity and that every choice you make contributes to who you are. The mirror doesn't lie. Every time you face it, you are reminded of who you have been, who you are, and who you are becoming. The key is to make sure that when you look at your reflection, you can honestly say that you are proud of the person you see. This is the foundation of self-respect, knowing that your actions align with your values, that you are true to yourself, and that you are on the path to becoming the person you've always wanted to be. The road to self-respect is not easy. It requires discipline, honesty, and the willingness to do what others won't. It's about taking responsibility for your actions, learning from your mistakes, and never compromising your integrity. It's about saying no to the things that don't serve you and saying yes to the things that push you closer to your true potential. Self-respect is the result of a life lived with purpose, a life that is guided by your values, your vision, and your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. When you live with this level of commitment, the person you see in the mirror will be someone you respect, someone you admire, and someone you can be proud of. So look in the mirror right now. What do you see? Is it someone you respect? Is it someone you are proud of? If not, ask yourself why. What changes do you need to make? What actions do you need to take to align yourself with the person you want to become? The mirror will always tell you the truth. And once you decide to live in alignment with that truth, once you decide to become the person you respect, the reflection you see will be one of power, pride, and purpose. You have the ability to shape your identity and create a life that mirrors your highest values. Don't wait for someone else to validate you. Validate yourself through the choices you make every single day. The mirror doesn't lie. Be the person you respect. In conclusion, the person you see in the mirror is the result of every decision, every action, and every choice you've made up to this point.